Good morning, good morning. It's your boy Chili Chill out here today to show you guys how to catch a striped bass using a jerkbait, aka also known as a plug on the East Coast. And also today I'm going to show you guys how to cast super lightweight jerkbaits like Lucky Craft and BattleStar to get the maximum distance possible. I'm out here today on the west side of San Francisco Bay, kind of near the Golden Gate. I'm here for the morning incoming tide. I got my Stella today, my brand spanking new Stella Saltwater 4000 XG. Spooled it up with 30-pound Power Pro Super Slick version 2. Temporarily using it on my G Loomis IMX Pro Green 7.6 model. This is also brand new. Only used it once, but I plan to put this reel on my surf setup for the surf season that I like to go fishing in summer. But for now I just want to put it on here and test it out, break it in and see how it feels. I'm throwing Lucky Craft today. This is the MS Anchovy, and as you guys saw from the intro, I do my jerkbaits a little different. I only use one hook, one treble hook, and I use what they call soft split rings. The reason why I don't use 2 hooks or 3 hooks is because it's just more sketchy to deal with, you know, when you're trying to lip a fish and trying to release a fish. And then also it's also dangerous for the fish. It can damage them even more. Soft split rings, the reason why I use those is because metal split rings, they have no rotational movement. They turn like half a turn and then they get jammed up, and the striper can actually use that and the tension of the line to pop off the lure. So with the soft split ring, you have at least 2 rotations you can do, so at least 720-degree rotation. So it makes it almost impossible for striped bass to pop off your lure. But anyways, let's go ahead and get a first cast out there. See how this new Stella feels. Oh yeah. I want to go ahead and say thank you to all the new subscribers. I seriously appreciate the support. And I also want to say thank you to all the people who left negative comments, you know, saying I need to show different angles and I need to show the scenery. You guys just want to see my spots. Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I'm not doing this for views or subscriptions, even though I really do you know, appreciate it. I'm definitely not doing this for money. I'm just doing this to have videos of myself, so later on I can watch them, and for my friends and family, and also for my group members on my Facebook group, San Francisco Bay Area Striped Bass Fishing. That's the main reason why I started doing videos in the first place. Oh, hooked up, guys. Hooked up. Oh, my drag is not set. Here we go. Hooked up, guys. Already. First fish of the day. Not even five minutes here. Looks like a keeper too. Yep, that's a 18. Always have pliers when you're using treble hooks. Yeah. There we go. Look at that one. Nice little way to start the day right there. Get that back on its way. Okay, we on the board though. Let's get it, bro. Lucky Crafts. I'm using the MS Anchovy FlashMinnow 110. This thing only weighs 5/8 of an ounce, so a lot of people have trouble casting these out far. So I'm going to show you guys how to cast those kind of lures out a good distance and Also the technique that you need to know of how to throw those, and also the gear that you need. I got a bit right there. Fish on, guys. It's like a almost keeper. It's like a almost keeper. Not a bad one. Fish on. Another decent fish. I would say this is an 18 on the dot. There you go. Nice little one. Okay, I want to go ahead and start by talking about jerk baits. The different types of jerk baits they have. They have floating jerk baits, suspending jerk baits, and sinking jerk baits. Floating jerk baits are good for shallow areas, shallow sandy areas like the beach. They usually tend to dive more shallow than deep. They're pretty good for top water as well. If you see the fish busting on the surface, throwing a floating jerk bait works pretty well. Suspending jerk bait is mostly for dead water, mostly for water that has no current. I recommend using those in like lakes, reservoirs, and ponds for freshwater bass. And sinking jerk baits, they do exactly what the name say. They sink. They tend to dive a little bit deeper, and they tend to stay on the bottom, the mid-water column, which is where the target zone is for the stripers. So generally in the bays and on the coast, sinking jerk baits are an all-around good jerk bait to use. So with floating jerk baits, when you stop reeling, they float back up to the top of the surface of the water. And with suspending jerk baits, they obviously suspend in the water. And sinking jerk baits, when you stop reeling, they sink slowly. There's also slow sink too, and fast sink. So the way you want to retrieve jerk baits, the most simplest way is to just do a steady retrieve, kind of like a paddle tail. Just bring it in slow and steady. What I like to do is do a steady reel and then do a jerk every now and then. So you're reeling, jerk, jerk. That also works really well. If you're using suspending jerk baits, the stop and go method is pretty good. So that means you actually stop, let the bait just sit there, and jerk it, and that actually creates a very erratic motion that'll entice any fish to bite. Let's go ahead and switch it over to the smelt color. Very nice color. Hooked up. This is on the smelt color. Feels like a decent fish too. Ah, no, it's a little shaker. Maybe 17. There. Not a bad one. Alright, the first thing you're going to need, it's not a must, But if you want to properly learn how to jerkbait fish, you're going to need the proper rod. I recommend a 7-foot to 9-foot rod for the bays, 9-foot to 11-foot for the surf, 12-foot if you can handle it. You want to get a rod that has a flexible tip, but also a sturdy backbone so you can pull in potential big fish. Something like a medium power rod usually is an all-around rod for jerkbaits. You want something with the fast action tip or extra fast action tip. Moderate fast action tip also works too, but definitely need the right kind of rod. On every rod there's a lure rating. It tells you like something like 1 ounce to 3 ounce or 1/2 ounce to 1.5 ounce. That means the sweet spot for a 1/2 ounce to 1.5 ounce is going to be 3/4 of an ounce. So you want to look for the right lure rating, okay? Now that rating doesn't mean that that's the maximum weight of a lure you can throw on that rod. Like if you have a 1/2 ounce to 1.5 ounce rating and you want to throw a 3 ounce rod, I mean a 3 ounce lure, you sure can. It's just that the optimal weight, the 1/2 ounce to 1.5 ounce, that is the optimal weight to get the best casting distance. So that's what the lure rating is for. The second thing that you're gonna need to pay attention to is your fishing line. If you want to get good distance on lightweight lures, you're definitely going to need to use braid. I recommend 20 to 30 pound. That's typically what you're going to just need in the Bay Area for stripers and for halibuts. You want to go with an 8-strand braid or up, just because they have smoother texture to it, smoother diameter, and they come off the reel faster and you can cast further with that compared to a 4-strand. And then the last thing, but the most important thing, is your casting technique. To cast jerkbaits pretty far, you need to learn how to do a whip cast, or better known as a dart cast. And I will be showing you a little later in the video of how to do a dart cast. Go ahead and swap this over to the MS Cherry Berry, one of my favorite colors from Lucky Craft. Well, it seems like the bite has died off. That was a horrible cast. Yeah, it seems like the stripers have moved on. And that's how it is with striper fishing. They might be at your hole for a little bit, but they're never there all day. They might show up for like 30 minutes, an hour, at a certain time of the tide. Then they just take off and they're gone. Let's go ahead and swap it out. Try the sardine color. I believe this is metallic sardine. Hooked up. That's a good size. Probably a 20-incher. On the sardine color. Nice enough little look. Nice one again. Got tight, y'all. Feels like a decent fish. Oh yeah, that's a good one. All right. This is probably about a 26-incher right here. Maybe a little bigger. And that's probably about a 24, 26. Here we go. About to get one right here. Another fish on. Looks like a 17, maybe 16. Oh man, that hook is in there. Yep, there we go, it's got bit again. Come on, baby. Right there. Right there. Oh, it came off. Came off. You son of a monkey. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do a dart cast. Let me just show you guys first. Okay, as you guys saw, that was a very simple and quick fluid movement. Let me show you guys how you start this cast. So for your beginners, I recommend that you hang your lure off the tip of your rod about maybe 6 inches just to start, okay? First thing you want to do is start at the 1 o'clock position. So imagine that you're looking at me right now, that you're looking at a clock. You want to start at the 1 to 2 o'clock position. And your right hand's going to, I'm a right-hander, so I cast with my right hand. Right hand's going to be on your rod, left hand is on your rod butt. Okay, and what you want to do is load it up to 11. Okay, so just practice that movement from 1 to 2 to 11. Okay, I took my lure off to show you guys a little bit better. You want to start at the 1 to 2 o'clock position. You want to load it to 11. Okay, we're not going all the way back. We're not doing over the shoulder. We're not looking at our bait first and then casting. We're just doing this very simple movement. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 11. Okay, just want to practice that. When you do this with your right hand, you are pulling your rod, and with your left hand, you are pushing your rod on the rod butt. Okay, just like this. That's the movement. Once you get to 11 and you feel your lure load, what you want to do with your hands, use your left hand to pull down, right hand to push the rod. Okay, back to 1 o'clock. So you start at 1, 2 o'clock, load at 11, back to 1 o'clock. Very simple, just like this. Okay, now the trick is, when you load it up to 11 and you're pushing down, you want to snap the rod like you're throwing a dart. Okay, if you ever threw a dart, you throw it like this. Okay, that's how you do the dart cast. Of course, it takes practice and time, but once you get the hang of it, you will get your jerkbaits out there further than you ever have. Couple warnings though, you don't want to use this cast for heavier lures. You only want to use it for light lures, maybe 1 ounce and down. But that is the dart cast. You start at the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock position, load it at 11, snap it back to 1. Alright guys, I've been out here for about 2 hours. Caught a handful of fish. I hope my tips on how to cast a jerkbait and how to use jerkbaits gets you on a striped bass, and hopefully you can cast them a little further. But until the next video, you guys, peace out.